united with Christ. Meet local churches with open doors, serving throughout the Border Valley community and sharing the truth and hope of God's love and salvation. A presentation of Life Christian Broadcasting Television. And now, united with Christ.
Good morning and welcome to United with Christ here on Channel 38, KSCE Life Christian Television. We're glad to have you with us, and today we have a special treat. You might see in front of me I've got all kinds of treats because I have some special guests with us today, and I will introduce them in just a moment. But I want to kind of preface this with saying that when the first century church, as it grew, there's not a whole lot of history about, we're not taught a lot of history about where it came from, but or how it grew and how it was developed, and then there were splits, and there's a lot of history involved. But one thing we do know, that there was a certain Middle Eastern culture there, and that culture, combined with the church, has been carried on, and today our guests are from St. George Orthodox Church, and I would like to introduce them. They are Brian Haddad.
Thank you.
And Jamili Deyup.
Yes.
And they are joining us today. They have a special reason to join us because they have something coming up. It's a festival that celebrates the Middle Eastern culture. And when you talk about Middle Eastern culture, you're talking about all the countries there. Whether it's Iraq or it's Syria or it's Lebanon or it's Israel or Jordan, they all share in the culture. It's all the same foods, the same dances, the same, there's a common bond there.
That's true.
And that is something that, in this day and age when there's so much turmoil and stuff going on, it's nice to know that it didn't used to be like that, and that it doesn't have to be like that. So let's get some, I have some questions for you all.
Sure.
Okay? First, I'd like to just help our audience understand a little bit more of the Orthodox history. What are the claims for Orthodox history?
Well, thank you. There's folks who can talk about it a lot more eloquently than I can, but to the brief and basic things, Orthodoxy goes back to Christ and the laying of hands in the upper room with the flames coming in, and go ye make believers from all over the nation from that time. And every priest, every bishop, every deacon has a direct lineage to Christ and the laying on of hands wherever the apostles laid on hands. That Holy Spirit descends on them as it descended on them. So when the priest is celebrating liturgy, he is a direct link to Christ, and we're actually taking the body and blood of Christ. It didn't just happen one time. We celebrate it, and we go through the resurrection with him and honor what he has done for us through the holy priest and his laying on the hands of us as he's blessing us.
Interesting. And so this claim predates any organized church.
Well, as you know, Tim, the church existed from the time of Christ, and the Christians were when they were followers of the Word, they called them people of the Word, and they were first called Christians in Antioch. We are Antiochian Orthodox Church.
Oh, okay.
And it goes back to that. How does that differ from the Russians or the
Greek
Ukraine or any of the other? actually, the apostles went to everywhere and established the church, and that's kind of very interesting. And wherever you walk in, that same liturgy is happening. It's not just the pastor there is made up of songs and, whatever it is, although we have hymns and everything else. It is where you can walk in and know what's happening. It's the veneration. No one is lost, even though it's done in different languages. Mm-hmm. So it's called the Russian church or the Antiochian church or the different Ukrainian, to the languages there, but it does not differ in theology.
Oh, it's always.
And the interesting thing about the history, how did it get into America? It's not a new faith. It's not a new religion. It had been established from the time. So everybody wants to come to the American dream.
Yeah.
So did our families. And after World War I, our families started migrating into different parts of the world, including the United States. And they took their faith with them. How did they do that? They came into the first Christian church was established in Alaska. Oh. And it passed on to different places and so forth. Well, did it just start from there? Absolutely not. It started from way back then, but they brought their faith with them. They brought El Paso. Our grandparents were part of that. Many grandparents were part of that. They're coming immigrants. They could hardly afford to eat and support themselves, but the church was a very important part of it. Mm-hmm. And they started, the bishop would send visiting priests to bury and marry and baptize and all that stuff. And so that's what did.
So it's interesting. Something you said that really caught my attention is a reminder of how Jesus sent the disciples out, and they went out, and they went to all over the known world at that time and evangelized. And so the whole world was predominantly Christian at that time, in the first, second century. That's amazing. When I was in India, I went and visited the tomb of St. Thomas, who went and evangelized India. Mm-hmm. He was martyred there, and so all the disciples were martyred. But through their initial efforts, the church spread.
That's correct.
And then you have the denominations and divisions and things. But it's very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm interested in the origination of this festival that produces so much good food.
Yes. Well, the festival started when? In the 50s?
In the late 60s, early 60s. We started, of course, as immigrants and so forth, certain funds. You don't have the funds to be able to support the church and the expenses that, of course, that go on. And so they started having a festival at McElligin Canyon.
We called it the Syrian picnic.
McElligin Canyon, we'd invite the community, and they'd make shish kebab, and we'd play baseball. And then we went to, we bought a Trost church. We were worshiping in different churches. From St. Clement's was very good to us. They would lend us part of their rooms to go ahead and worship. And then a church came up in 1947 and said, okay, it's time for you guys to get going. And we bought the property at Trost Building at 915 Florence, at the corner of Rio Grande and Florence.
Right across the street from St. Clement.
Right,
exactly.
And then through these festivals, we were able to get some money. We built the hall and the education room and what have you through the generosity of every El Pasoan and the community at large. They came in and supported it. And they would ask us, can you have some of your culture and foods and things, can you have that a few times a year? I said, well, you kill us. I mean, the work that goes in here is just incredible. And so,
just out of curiosity, how long have you been baking to prepare for the festival?
Well, we started meeting in the summer, during the summer, of course, and then I think we started baking in this past summer. But we have a fully commercial kitchen that's inspected and everything. It's a very, very good commercial kitchen. And we have a very good walk-in freezer. And so what we do is we bake, bake, bake. We pack really well and put it in the freezer and bring it out for the festival. And actually, it tastes just like it does when we put it
Wow.
in. So.
Well, this looks pretty good, and
Yes.
in a few minutes, I'm gonna try some of it.
Yes.
Sure.
Because when I'm in other countries, in every household you have to have some Turkish coffee, and not all of them will offer you baklava, but that's always a treat.
Sure, it is the same. The Arabic coffee is the same as they do in Turkey and other areas. That's
Yeah,
right.
it all
is
tastes the
Arabic
same to
coffee.
me.
Yeah,
It does, yeah.
absolutely. This took you back to Iraq, you told me. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does. So I would like you to share a little bit about the food
Yes.
that they will experience. Those who are interested in attending the festival, I want to let you know right now, if you want more information about that, there is a number that you can call and they will give you more information. I think they're going to put it up, but if you have a pen, you can write it down. It will be Jamali's number is 915-497-5582. Okay? And Brian's number is 915-478-2570. So if you would like more information about the festival that we're going to be talking about right now, please give them a call. They'd love to have you come and enjoy not only the food that Jamali is going to talk about a little bit, but also there's the Middle Eastern dances, and it's a festival. It's a dance. We're going to talk about that and how everybody just comes together. Their embrace. It's a community thing. It's not, here where it's partners and it's more erotic. It's a community, family, fun festival.
Yes, it is.
So
it is.
tell us about the food.
The food. So the baklava is made with phyllo dough, and we had 2 baking sessions of baklava, where but actually our baking sessions are such a wonderful time for our ladies to get together and talk and bake, and and it's every one of our goodies is made with a very special ingredient.
Okay,
It's
what's
love.
What's in
Yeah.
it? Well,
Love is our special ingredient.
I
yeah.
know, I'm sure there's love
That
in
to
there.
kill you.
But what's in there? It looks
Okay,
like
so what's in there?
pecans.
It's ground pecans, and the
Okay.
pecans are seasoned with orange water and rose water, and a little bit of sugar, and then there is a syrup that's made that goes on top that's also has orange water, rose water, sugar, and water. We make the syrup as well.
Okay.
Tell 'em about the
So
phyllo
it's
dough.
and so then the phyllo dough is we buy the phyllo dough. It's packaged, and you lay it out, and you have to you brush rendered butter in between every layer, and so it's it's very, very, very good and full
No,
of butter.
it's addicting.
And that's what makes the phyllo dough crisp. The brushing it with the butter. So it's a process, and then we roll it up, cut it, bake it,
That's why you
and
say
put the syrup on it.
it's made with so much love.
It is.
Because it's so much work involved.
There is.
May I comment just a tiny bit? The phyllo dough.
Uh-huh.
It's each sheet of phyllo dough is like the size of a piece
It's
of
12
paper.
by 18.
12
yeah.
by 18.
They're 12 by 18.
And it's a very thin, like paper
You
thin.
can see through it if you
Wow.
hold it
And-
up, but it gets
and
very
they-
dry
they
quickly.
get it, and then you're familiar with what clarified butter is. Clarified butter is boiled, and just the impurities come out, and we just do. And so each sheet is layered with clarified butter, and they put about 6 sheets in there. Then
Wow.
they put the nuts, as Jimmy was
nuts,
talking
yeah.
about, and then they roll it up, and we have some pictures and things.
Yes.
And they roll it up, and they put it in there, and they put it's just the incredible amount of work.
It's delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't describe how delicious it is. You're going to have to taste this. But
So
there's
we
a
also
whole lot
made,
of other delicious
this is
foods.
apricot mamoul. Now we have mamoul is the, the cookie. And, but we have it with pecans, we made it with dates, we made it with apricot, dried
And break
apricot.
up.
So,
Get one and
so
break it.
it's, this is I think this is an apricot. This looks like the shape of an apricot one. Yeah, this is apricot. So this is the apricot. So it's, filled with apricot.
Wow.
And so the dough is
try
also a butter, butter-rich dough.
And These
that-
were picked off the fresh apricots
Well,
off the
yes,
tree.
that's what Aunt Jeanette said. One of the lady that's in charge of the cookies is Jeanette Zakor, and she is, well into her 80s, and but she still wants to take part, and we just love her.
Oh,
And
that's really
she has
delicious.
really, and that's what we talk about, handing down the recipes from generation to generation.
Wow.
And now this one is called Symbosic, and this is filled with pecans.
Symbosic.
Symbosic,
Wow.
yeah.
And that's filled
this
with
is filled with
pecans as well.
pecans, yeah. And it's also a buttered dough. It's not the same dough that we use for the mamul, but it's also a buttered dough, and it's filled with pecans, with seasoned pecans, and then we put syrup on top of it. Isn't that
Now
good?
these are the sweets.
Yes.
But here you have meat pies, right?
We have meat pies. So we use a fairly thin, pita bread dough, or Syrian bread is what I like to call it, a Syrian bread dough, that is rolled out into little circles, put some meat that's seasoned with, it has onion, maybe, sometimes they put pine nuts in it. Anyway, so it's a beautifully seasoned dough, a beautifully seasoned meat, and it goes inside the dough, and then we fold it and, pinch it together, and then put it in the oven and bake it.
Lots of love.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
it is lots of
We
love.
got to move quickly.
Okay.
But because these look so great.
Yes.
And these is, I know, dolma.
Right,
Well,
in Greek, but
Greek.
yeah.
And in Arabic?
They're what on it?
That's one
And
of the several,
that's stuffed grape leaves. So those are the grape leaves that just grow on the vine where the
Right.
grapes grow. But it has to be a certain type of grape leaf. You can't use the fuzzy ones. You have to use the really smooth ones. So the Thompson seedless, or those are the
Okay.
kind we grow. Anyway, so that is a grape leaf that's been picked. And sometimes, just freezing them kind of softens them up. And then you're able to put a mixture of meat and rice inside of it, roll
Okay.
it up, put it in a pan, and steam it on the stove, on top of the stove.
Wow.
And then these are stuffed cabbage leaves,
I mean,
which
this,
are in tomato, and
mean,
have
they
a little
look
bit of tomato
delicious.
sauce. It is. They are
Okay.
delicious.
It's a lot of work.
Yes,
This is some of the food that you will see at the festival.
absolutely. In addition to hummus,
It's all made
bread,
fresh.
The hummus, and
all
all
of it will
is,
be made
is
fresh.
homemade and fresh.
absolutely.
We are going to talk a little bit about the dances and everything else, but we're going to look at the video right now, and so that our audience can see a little bit of what it's going to look like.
Great.
That's right.
Perfect.
Okay? What do you think? Didn't that look like a lot of fun? I mean, the dancing, I've been to Kurdish weddings where everybody is dancing in a circle, and it's just a lot of fun.
It is.
Tell us just a little bit about how that originated, and then, because we only have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So, and then I want to talk about the art, the Byzantine art that you will see inside the church is very important, because from what I understand, what I've seen in the Orthodox churches I've been, it's like pictures of Bible stories.
Absolutely.
How did you describe it?
Tim, first of all, to the community, we thank them. This is not just it's a Middle Eastern immersion of culture,
Right.
of ancient culture, and of the foods and the arts and the thing, and the dancing and everything else. And so the question, how did it start? I want to thank the community for supporting us all through this situation. Last year, after COVID, we had about 4 years of COVID. We didn't know how much turnout we were going to be, and people were waiting for. We didn't know. So we had 5 major items in a tent, in a huge tent, in addition to the music
hall.
and dancing tent, in addition to the summit ballroom. We didn't know, so trying to cut the expenses, I guess we made a wrong decision, and we put everything inside, and we got just an incredible turnout. And thank you, El Paso. But to those who came and had long lines, we want to apologize to you. It will not be the same. We're back to the way we did it. You will be pleased. So don't be upset. Come on back, support us. And so to the culture, we're going to have a live just a
Live music, right?
Some live
music
musicians,
and
uh-huh.
live music, and the cultural dancing. We have people of every faith and religion and color and everything that comes in. So it's not just for the Middle Easterners. It is for all of El Paso, which is a melting pot. That's the beauty about El Paso. The culture of El Paso is just incredible. We just add to it. We just want them to experience. Many of our people tell us, can you have this 3-4 times a year? The work it does, it'll kill us. We have people from 6 years old to 90 years old that actually help. Everybody gets involved.
But
And
it's
we're
like
just-
it's our gift to the community.
That is absolutely
we
right.
we want to show the love
Right.
to the community.
And that's the whole purpose of that, that our
Yeah.
music and culture and architecture and everything that we're talking about is toward peace and unity and the happiness. As to, we're going to have tours of the church, and it may be interesting to you, those who are interested in the art aspect of it. We have Byzantine architecture that is very unique and not existing in El Paso. And that goes back to the thousands of years. And the church is built in a particular way and fashion according to the Bible.
Facing a
And
certain direction,
absolutely,
everything.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And those, then we have the iconography, which you're talking. Iconography or like fresco, like Michelangelo paintings that are done with the egg tempera, not acrylic, to last the thousands of years. And it's painted all over the world. It's the history of Christianity from the time of Christ. And
Wow.
That's what
what
you
it-
see when you
there
look.
will
It's-
be, and for
very
those
beautiful.
who are interested in there'll be a 30-minute talk and answer question about many things, why the clothing and so forth, and the incense and the iconography, and why do we worship icons? Absolutely, no, we don't. We venerate the apostles and the Theotokos, the Mother of God.
You respect it.
We
You show them
respect and we
respect.
venerate. We worship Christ, our God, and the Holy Trinity, we try you, and that's what that is. So I hopefully that is. We look forward to every one of you coming. Bring your friends. The more friends we have, people coming in on crutches and canes, and when they hear that music and they see the cultural dancing, they boom! All of a sudden, we see them in the middle of the dance floor. It is really great, and we encourage all the audience to come and join in the dancing. It's called the Dupki, and different dances. So they'll be performing. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Call us. We'll send you information on it. We'll do whatever we can to make it.
Yeah, it's October 19th and 20th, and it's a Saturday and a Sunday, and
The time,
it's
Saturday, from noon till 10 p.m. on
yes,
Saturday.
on Saturday, and then from noon to 7
7 p.m.
on Sunday.
Right.
So yes,
Yeah, we have the.
a lot of people come right after church on Sunday.
have that.
Get
Some
their,
of the other
we'll
food-
also have takeout.
We
So
have-
if people want to come pick up their meal and take out, we will have the full meal this year. So it's
Okay.
a plate with the
6
meat
different
pies.
items.
Yeah, meat pies, kibbe, which is another meat dish, a green bean
With meat.
with meat, and also rice.
Butter.
Also a salad. So that it'll be a
baklava
full
and
and a
bread,
piece
yeah.
of baklava. It'll
Yeah.
be a full meal.
You have 6 different items, but you can
You
wanna
can buy the full
other
meal,
stuff.
or you can buy. We'll also
A la
have
carte.
gyros.
So you're going to
Well,
have a whole
falafel.
lot of. You're
We have
gonna,
about 15 different items, including the grilled lamb shish kebab,
We'll have,
fresh
yeah,
off the
shish
grill.
kebab, yeah.
The chicken breast that instead of just being thrown off, it's marinated
Marinated.
in olive oil and garlic.
we only have a minute left.
Sure.
So what I really want to encourage our audience is to recognize that this is Middle Eastern culture when all of the countries that are represented there now, we're all at peace. We're enjoying the same foods, the same dances, the same music. And it's a pretty amazing. I
It
think
is.
that if you could experience this, it would just give a whole better understanding of what it's supposed to be.
Tim,
Yes,
that's exactly
absolutely.
how we prepare. Everything that we do is in preparation to receive all the
Yeah.
community with that sort of love and community and
Yes.
peace.
To bring hope
It is
and
not
peace.
political. It's not religious.
No.
It's just to enjoy you
Just to
and
give
enjoy
our
the
love.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we want to thank you for this opportunity.
Thank
to
you
come
so
and-
much.
Well, it's
Talk about
been
it.
a pleasure, and it's going to
Thank
be
you.
more when I finish this off.
Well, there's about 15 different. Huge, and the baklava sundaes they didn't mention.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about our teenagers. they take the scraps from the baklava that we make, from the baklava, and they get ice cream, and they put the baklava scraps on top, and then they put a little chocolate, and that's a good sundae. That's a
boy.
baklava sundae. Yeah,
It
that's what our
sounds
teenagers
delicious.
do.
Well, I know that you will enjoy very much this festival. I'm planning on being there.
Yay.
I want to, it takes me back to Iraq or Lebanon or wherever, so I want to again thank our guests for being with us.
Thank you.
And for sharing a little bit of what you can experience at the festival, Middle Eastern culture. And I want to encourage our audience to, if you can make it, to please come out. To get more information, call the number that was on the screen, 497-5582. Thank you. God bless you. We'll see you there, I hope. And come back tomorrow.
You won't